So hi everyone, in this video we will going to learn how to create a new listener and delete the same. So we are logged inside this virtual machine, right? So let me show you the host name. Okay, this is our host name, and now we will find out that whether the Oracle and the TNS listener is running in the background or not. So for that we can simply use this command. Okay, so you can see this is the Oracle database process, right? Process monitoring process for the Sakri instant is running on this virtual machine, right? And this is our normal listener. This is our listener, right? So you can see we are already having a listener, right? So first of all, let log in inside the SQL plus. Set the line size to 400, so everything will be clear. And here, first of all, for checking local listener register, right? We will use show parameter local listener, right? And you will see this is our listener, right, which is currently running, and the database and the listener is listening the database. So how can we know that the listener is registered inside the Oracle database? So for that we can use a command that ls nrctl status. Okay, so it will show us the listener status. So you can see guys here that Sakri instance having a state as ready. Okay, so it is listening on the Sakri listener. Okay, and the second is Sakri. Okay, so it is also in ready state. So ready state status is actually mean that the listener is actually listening on these services and instances. Okay, so we can know that the listener is up, and we can connect remotely to the database using this listener. So we can cross check it by using the SQL developer or tool like you tools. Okay, so currently I'm having a SQL developer installed on my PC. So using this you can cross check whether the listener is listening, and we can connect remotely on the Oracle database. Otherwise we need to create a new listener and also register the listener on the database, so we can connect remotely to the database if the listener is not running on the local machine, virtual machine. Okay, you can see. So let me show you how to create a new connection. Okay, so we will create a new connection for this Oracle SQL developer. So you can give any name to here. Okay, sample, I will give it new Sakri as a connection name, right? You can give it system or any username with which you want to connect with the host. Okay, so first of all, this is host name. Okay, so for this what we will do, we have to check the etc host file. Okay, and you can see here, right, this is our host name. Let me show you. Okay, so currently we are on this host. Okay, and in the etc/host file we have set an alias for this entire host name as pm. Okay, so for using this we have to only enter this much, okay, in the host name. And currently let me see that ls nrctl status. Okay, so where it is. Okay, so you can see here the listener is actually listening on this port number 1522. Okay, so we have to give here 22, right? And in the sid what we will do, you can see here. Okay, sid means instance, so you can simply give this, okay, as an entry in the SQL developer Sakri, right? So all is done. First of all, let me check that the system password is correct or not. System -k. Okay, so we are good with the system password, right? So now we can connect with the database. First of all, we will test it whether it is running or not, or whether it is connecting to the database or not remotely. Okay, so we can connect with the database simply, right? So you can see here a new connection has been created on this, right? So this will be connect shortly, it will take some time. So guys, this way we can connect remotely to the database, Oracle database, using the SQL developer. Let me show you. Select host name, instance name from v dollar instance, right? Okay guys, so you can see a host name is coming as pm.shake.com. Okay, so again let me show you host name. Okay, pmshake.com, and here also we are getting the pm.shake.com, right? And instance name is Sakri, right? So you can also cross check. Select host name, instance name from v dollar instance, right? So you can see here, okay, everything is same. Now it is connected, right? So what we will do, we will delete this listener from the server Oracle database, right? So guys, first of all, make sure that x11 forwarding is enabled on the system, on your virtual machine, so that you can start the graphics user interface commands, right? For example, for configuring the listeners, right, we will have to use this utility which is called as net configuration assistant, right? Netcare, it is the short form for this utility as netcare, right? So first of all, let me show you that how we can do it. First, check this etc or a tab file, right? So there you will find this entry, right? So this is our Oracle SID, or we can call it as instance, right? Instance name. And then after the colon, we will get our Oracle home path, right? So this is the absolute path, right, for the Oracle home. And here you can see the Y and N entry, right? So if you want to start this, if you want to get this database up when the server is rebooted, right? So you have to mention your Y. Otherwise, you can manually start the database on this server when the reboot is done, right? So we have given here Y, so that we can use db shut and db start, db shut and db start, right? Utilities, okay. So this is a shell script which is given by the Oracle itself. You can use this if you have set the Oracle home and all the Oracle environment on your server, so you can use this. This will stop and start the database automatically, okay? You don't have to manually do starting and stopping of the instance, right? Both of the this shell script will take care for that, right? So first of all, let me show you that whether the Oracle environment is set exported already set on the server. So you can see instance is same as of Oracle or a tab file. Check the Oracle home, right? Oracle home is also there, right? Now the path should be there. So you can see the path is also there. Now again, the most important LD library should be there. So you can see LD library is also, sorry for that, library is also there. So we have cross check that all the Oracle environment is set on this server, so we can go further, right? So I have told you that x1 forwarding must be enabled in case of using the GUI utilities like netcare dbcua, right? dbcu or dbca, okay. So first of all, for configuring the listener, we will use the netcare, okay. So it will pop up a new window, and then we configure the listener, right? First of all, we will delete the listener and then create a new one with a different port number, right? So you can see a new window has been pop up, right? So this is our Oracle net configuration assistance, okay. And you can see here, welcome at the rate, this is our host name, right? So what we want to do, we want to configure the listener configuration, right? You can do other naming method configuration, local net service name configuration, directory usage configuration. These all are functionality of this what we call it as Oracle net configuration assistant, okay. So we just want to do the listener configuration, so we will press the next button, okay. So what we want to do, so I want to delete the listener, okay. So simply check this delete button, right? delete the radio button, and it will and go on with the next button. So you will find a list here if there are multiple listeners running on the server, so you will get a list here. But since we are only running a single listener on this server, so we will not see any list here. So we will just select this listener and we will continue with this. Okay, so a message will come up like this: Oracle Network Configuration Assistant. So this will telling us that this listener is currently running, right? Are you sure want to stop the and delete the listener with the name as listener? So we will press it here. Yes. Okay. And what it's saying as a final message, that listener with the name listener was deleted, right? So we can finish, right? So guys, you will get this message printed on the screen that deleted listener with the name as listener, right? So it is successful. So we have successfully deleted the listener. Now we will check for the listener is running or not. Okay, so guys, you can see there is no listener is running right now. Okay, so let me come up here and we will again try to connect with this, right? Reconnect. So it will throw an error, right? 1 minute, let me disconnect from it, and again we will connect to this. So guys, you can see here now when we have deleted the listener, it is throwing an error to us, right? So when we trying to connect with the Oracle database remotely, right? So it is throwing an error. An error was encountered performing the requested operation. So you can see here input output error, right? The network adapter could not establish the connection. So this is a common error, right? That comes when the listener is down, okay, or the listener has been deleted from the server itself. But most of the time, what happens? There are multiple listeners, so there may be some uh, uh, entry issue inside the SQL developer connection, or the most common is that the listener is down there. Okay, so since we have deleted the listener itself, so it is throwing an error like the network adapter could not establish the connection, right? So first of all, we have to create a listener, right? So how to create a listener? Again, we will use netcat. Okay, by using the net configuration assistant, we will create a listener for our Oracle database. Okay, so the same window is popping up, right? So we will again select this listener configuration and go with the next button. Now only the add option is there, right? So we will proceed with the same. Here we will, you can give any name to the listener as Sakari listener, right? I will give the name as Sakari listener, right? Continue. Also you can mention the protocols also, so we want to get both of them, TCP as well as IPC, right? So continue with this. Now guys, the standard port number for the Oracle listener is 1521. Okay, so you can mention any of it. So we will continue with the 1521. Okay, otherwise you can give any listener number there, right? So we will continue with the 1521. Okay, so then click on continue. Yeah, we have to go give the extra. Okay, so here we will see where it is. IPC, what it requires, IPC key. Okay, IPC key for Oracle listener. Okay, so here okay, so this is the key, right? Extra proc, right? Then click on next. Now it is asking, would you want to configure another listener? So we will press no. We will select only no. We just want to create one. So it will starting the creation of the listener, right? So you can see here listener configuration completed, right? So just click on next and then finish, right? Done. It is done. Now see. Okay. So guys, you can see here. So this is our new listener. Okay, we have recently created, right? So currently it will it won't support any service, right? Service, let me show you. No service, okay, it is listening on no service, right? lsnrctl status. So what we will do, guys, we will do one thing, that we will copy this, right? Copy this and go inside the SQL plus as in system db, right? Show here, show parameter local listener, right? So you can see here, right? So this is the current value of local listener. So what we will do, we will change this, alter system set local listener, okay, here mention here listener and scope both. So we want to change in the sp file as well, so we are using both of them, right? So you can see here that the it is done, right? So we will change the local listener parameter. Now go inside. So you can see here we have successfully changed our local listener, right? So go outside, again do ls nrctl status. Now guys, you can clearly see, okay, that previously it was not showing any where it is, okay, the previously it was showing uh, no instance or service name, okay, and now it is showing a service name here, right? So in this way, guys, we can do it. So we have successfully deleted what we learned in this session, that we have successfully deleted a listener, we have created a new one, and we have configured the new one listener, okay. So now it is listening. We can also cross check it using the Oracle SQL developer, okay. So just go here, okay, just we want to change the port number and test it. All other things are same, okay. So it is done, right? Now we can connect with the SQL developer, okay. So you can see here, guys, without the listener we cannot remotely connect with the database, okay. So listener must be up in order to connect with the Oracle database. And there is one more file which is called as tns names, okay. So there you can see here in the same directory this tns names also stored. cd, so this is our tns names, right? More tns names, right? So this tns names.ora is a very important file, okay, in the Oracle database. So listener, actually by the name listening, okay, it will listen the external connection and direct the external request to the database, and the database will process the request and then send the response to the users via listener as well, right? So what about the tns names.ora? So the tns names.ora file will contain all the server and database entries. So for example, this is our local server, okay. So if anyone want to connect with this local listener local Oracle database, so they need to have some details, like you can see here, right? Server, service name, instance name, sid name, okay. So only you can mention service name here, that is enough. So we will that the external user will able to connect with this database using the tns names, okay. So tns names actually useful for connecting with the database remotely, okay. And that is also exclusively if you want to connect it using a Oracle client software, okay. So if you are having a Windows 11 or any Linux machine, so first of all, if you want to connect with the external Oracle databases servers, so you can do it using by after installing the Oracle client software, and then using that Oracle client application which you are installed on your local machine like Windows 11 and, or Linux, so you can connect with the database, okay, remote databases. So there you need to have the tns names entries, so that your local machine, for example Windows 11, if you stored a tns names dot ora file there, so it will the Oracle client software will first look up for the tns names ora on the Windows 11, and then accordingly it will call to the remote database server, and you can connect with the listeners on the remotely, okay. So without tns name we cannot do remote connections, okay, if there is no database available on your local machine. For example, we don't have to install a database on the Windows 11 machine. If you want to connect this virtual machine. So in order to connect with this, we can simply install the Oracle client and then connect with this database, okay, by using the SQL plus on Windows 11 as well. So this is all about the TNS names and listener.ora. There is one more file which is called as sqlnet.ora. Okay, so sqlnet.ora is a constraint file. Okay, so there is some rules set on the sqlnet.ora file, right? So accordingly, for example, connection timeout is 3 seconds, 30 seconds. So uh, if the remote connection is not responding within 30 seconds, okay, so your connection will be disconnected after 30 seconds. So that's how the sqlnet.ora file set a rule, set some rules for connections. Okay, so it must be 30 seconds, it must be an authentic user to connect remotely. Okay, so that is what all about this. And you can see here that all these listener.ora and tnsnames.ora and sqlnet.ora files must be present on the remote server, which is having a database, okay, installed. So these three files are mostly useful, mostly important for connecting with the remote databases. So they must be present there. And there are also some things like if you are having a Spring Boot application installed on your local machine, for example Windows 11, so you can connect with the Windows 11 machine through Spring Boot application to this virtual machine, also remote machines, because it will be having some libraries installed there, right? So this way it works. So hope guys this will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching this video.